How's it going, everybody? So, in this video, I'm going to show off the modded Wii. This is the 4 terabyte modded Wii, and I'm going to scroll through a couple of game consoles and just show everybody what's in the system and try to answer any questions that we have had previously. So, in this first menu, this is where all your systems are going to be. The main systems, and then there are break off, and you'll kind of see throughout the video, but I'm using the D-pad to go up and down currently, but if you do want to use the cursor, you can. So we're going to go to Wii first, so click on that. And then in here, you have Wii and you have GameCube. You don't really need to use any of the other stuff. It's just like options to adjust stuff like homebrew if you understand what all that is, but this is like the main driver for most of the stuff. So I'm going to click in Wii. And then here we are in Wii, and as you can see, 1,249. This should be the full Wii library plus a couple extra. And then in here, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can just scroll through here. Either you can click this with the arrow, or what I like to do is you can use the D-pad on your remote to just go left or right. Or if you see down here, there are a few options. What I like to do as well is if you click B and down on the D-pad, you can search by letters. You can see up there. I'm just kind of searching by letter, and this might be the easiest because you're searching through 1,000 games. So I'm just going to scroll through here, and I'm just going to let it go for a second. You can kind of see. And then let's pick a game. Dragon Ball's fine. So let's do Dragon Ball 3. So I just click on
Dragon
that,
Ball
and as
Z
you can see,
Budokai
there's the
Tenkaichi
game.
3!
Here's everything, and you just hit play, and it plays just like a normal game. Alright, so I'm going to go back. And then to go back again, you hit the B on the trigger. That goes back to here. And then to scroll over, you just use the D-pad. I'm going to go left. I mean, you can go right too if you want, but and then hit A on here. And then here are GameCube, full GameCube library, plus a couple extra that we kind of thrown in there that we made. And it's the exact same thing as the Wii. On GameCube, you do need to use a GameCube controller. You cannot use the Wiimote. And with that, obviously you just plug the GameCube controller in the top of the Wii, and what you have to do is this. This is important because you have to select the game with the Wii remote, and then once the game is booting, is when you can use your GameCube controller. So whenever I find a game, so you're scrolling through here, and let's play a Scooby-Doo game. So you click on that. Now here's the game and everything like that. And then when after I hit play, then you can go to the GameCube controller and play the game like normal. It will save internally on the GameCube or on the Wii and everything like that. That's important. You can't use the Wii remote, but you have to use the Wii remote to select the game. So there's that. So I'm gonna go back. So that's Wii and GameCube. And now let's go to, I'm going to scroll up to retro consoles. So this is kind of all the other consoles. And then, as you can see, like I said, there's a lot of consoles in here. But there are currently not really any emulators to run the ROMs correctly. It's These are in here because of the theme that's used. And this is the easiest way for us to make it to where it's as easy to access games as possible. And so I'm just going to start from the back folder, and I'll just go into each one and kind of show you 159 ColecoVision games. And once you click into these, you're able to use the GameCube controller. I'd recommend a GameCube controller on all the retro stuff. It's a lot easier to use. But I mean, it boots everything boots the same. So as far as like the game, you hit and play, and go from there. And I'm going to go back, and there's 18 of these. And they're just a bunch of games, and you can see the games inside the libraries underneath the game titles. All right. And some of the ROMs may run kind of funny and stuff because you're trying to run it through the Wii. So some of them may have issues, but you may come across that with playing some of the older stuff like this Odyssey and some of the Ataris and things, but for the most part, they should run fine using the GameCube controller and whatnot. So then NES, this is a fun one. Full library NES. There's full libraries of everything, but 1075 NES, so you can scroll through here. It's kind of the exact same thing. You click on it and you go ahead and play it. It'll be right up. Um, I like to use a Wii controller playing NES. It's very simple because you just turn it, and 1 and 2 is the red buttons and then the D-pad. It's pretty simple. N64. On N64, it is required to use a GameCube controller. Again, you just select the game with the Wii remote like you would in any other game. But then once you get to when you're playing it, you're going to have to use the GameCube controller. So I suggest just leaving a GameCube controller plugged in if you want to use any of these kind of retro games. But again, scroll through here, full library. Turbo 16, so same stuff. And so you'll come up with stuff like this. So you see here, we currently don't really have a emulator to run this specific game. Um, so currently there is no emulator that runs it good enough for these type of games. And you may come across that in some of these other systems, like this, yeah. But I'm going to go through each and every one and kind of just show you if there are some. PlayStation, that's a fun one to play in Nintendo. 493 PS1 games. We could not put the full PS1 library because not all of the PlayStation 1 games were created the same, and so only so many that will actually run right on the Wii itself. So we put almost every game that you can think of that will run and play on the Wii. And you can see up there the games, and then you just click on it and it'll be right in. You do need a GameCube controller to play that. And if you do have a Wii Pro controller that plugs into the bottom of the remote, those work really well for playing PlayStation. I'd recommend using that for PlayStation if you got a Wii Pro controller. That would be the easiest for you. So here's just PlayStation games, same stuff. Right back up and play. So I'm gonna go back. And then there's those. Some 32s. 65 in there. Full Genesis. 1100. You just pick your game here. Sega! Master System 406. 183 on the Sega CDs. And like I said, you'll need a Wii remote to select the game, and then you should be able to just use a GameCube controller after that on some of this stuff. Here's SG-1000. Super Nintendo, that's a fun one. 1,000 games in there. I don't think there's anything in there. There's some Atari stuff. 5200. And on some of these older stuff, the older systems, you're gonna have to be patient with them. I mean, they're old technology, so they're older ROMs, and some run slow, some are really buggy. We just try to do our best to fill it with as much as we could for everybody to play. And so there's, like I said, there might be some in here that don't run right or whatever, but you may come across some of those. And then I don't think there's anything in there. And then now we're back to this same one. So those are the retro consoles. So I'm going to hit B, and we're going to go back. There are retro computer systems in here. Currently, we don't have any games in any of these. We're working on that, but for this video, I don't really have any emulators or games put inside of these, again, like I said, this option just came with the theme that we are using. So they're there, but currently we don't have anything to put inside of them, but we're working on it. And we're going to go to handhelds now. And then Game & Watch can be buggy. There's a couple games that work and there's some that don't. So you may come across some that act really funny or whatever, but some work, like I said, and some may have some issues. But I did put the full library there for you. And then Game Boy, as you can see down there. Game Boy Advance, total games 925. Game Boy Color 500. Some Neo Pocket, 208 on the Neo Pocket, or Neo Geo Pocket, you should say. So, I don't know why, but I see how it says Neo Pocket and this one is color, but they're both coming out as Neo Pocket Color. I know some of the the cover art, there's a lot of games in here, so sometimes the cover art will kind of just blend together. Um, but there are some different games in here. You just can't look at the cover. You have to look at the name up here. But they're there. Some Virtual Boy stuff. And again, a lot of these are going to take the GameCube controller to play. You use the Wii remote to kind of navigate, but the GameCube controller is going to be your friend on this modded Wii for retro and handhelds. Sega Game Gear. Some Wonder Swan. 175 on that. Some Wonder Swan Color. 95 on that. And just some of these. The Atari, the links, it's there. Some of the games work, some don't. I don't remember which ones. But you may come across those again, like I said. Some may have some bugs here and there, but yeah. And then that's handhelds. And then arcade. So you have arcade, Neo Geo, and Capcom. So let's go to Capcom. 388 Capcom games. And then some Neo Geo. And then arcade. There's a lot of arcade games. These are all just fun little back in the day arcades, coin games. And that's it on that. And that is the full preview, I should say, of the modded 4 terabyte modded Wii. And then if you are interested in purchasing one, or if you have any questions regarding the Wii, this is the 4 terabyte. Like I said, this is the biggest one we sell. We also have a 2 terabyte Wii, which is the exact same setup. It just doesn't have the full Wii library. The full Wii library takes up a lot of space. The 2 terabyte we also offer, and we kind of go from there. The 2 or the 4 terabyte, depending on what you want to get it for or use it for. Definitely recommend the 4 terabyte Wii because you have everything. I mean, this is going to be it for you. You have every Nintendo plus 400 PlayStation 1. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. So if you have any questions or anything, in the description below, we will put a link to our Whatnot. And in Whatnot is where you can buy one of these Wiis. This is the 4 terabyte Wii. And also you can send us messages through there and we can help you and point you in the right direction or suit whatever you're looking for when it comes to the Wii specifically, or if you have questions about any other modded systems, we do sell quite a bit. So just click on that link below in the description, and we will help you out with anything or any questions you have, or if you just want to purchase one or check us out and follow us on whatnot.